right, so we were talking about trig numbers last week, so today's gonna be pretty quick. I think we do a total of 5 problems. I'm gonna write it the long way just one time, just to remind you what they look like, and then we'll kind of use that abbreviated shortened version, just because it makes it way easier. So just as a reminder what a trig function looks like, or a trig number looks like. You have a number in front, and then it's always cosine of an angle, I'm gonna throw in 45, plus I sine of an angle. So that's what a trig number looks like. I kind of have mine in things because I'm going to multiply by something in a second. So today what we're going to be doing is taking those trig numbers and then multiplying by another trig number. Ooh, getting all crazy and fun. Cosine, sorry, I'm just trying to find a nice angle for us. Where's my chart? No. Plus I sine. Okay, so once again, this is basically going to be the only time I kind of write it in that long way, just to remind you what a trig function or trig number actually is. So we're going to use the abbreviated or the shortened version quite a bit, just because it makes it like less writing. Who wants to write all this? So I'm going to rewrite this just as one time as 2, and then just as a reminder, we were using CIS. It's not a trig function. It represents the trig number cosine of the angle, and then I sine of the angle. So that's what that means. And then we put our angle. So you can see, if I had to write this out a bunch of times, this way is definitely easier. And I'm going to multiply it by this one, which we're going to write as 3 CIS, and that angle is 90. I'm going to just do it with the numbers first. I usually tend to think it just like makes a little more sense than me writing the big long rule. And then I will write a general rule for you as well. But in general, when we are multiplying these, you are going to multiply the numbers in front. Okay, that was easy. You're halfway done. You're going to write your CIS to represent the cosine, the I, the sine. And then with your angles, you add them. So don't multiply everything. You're actually adding your angles. So just be careful there. I will write a general rule in a second for you. But if I do 45 degrees plus 90 degrees, that gives me 135. And you would be done. So that's about as crazy as we're getting today. Off to the side, I'm going to write a general rule just with like variables. I feel like sometimes variables just get confusing. But now you kind of know the general idea. It should kind of make sense. So the general rule for what we're doing right now, which is called product theorem. It's called product theorem because product means when you multiply. If I write R, I'm just going to write R1. CIS theta 1. And I multiply by R2, CIS theta 2. The rule is you multiply the R's, you write CIS, and then you add your thetas. So if you know this general rule, you're basically good for the entire week. That's basically what we're doing. So I'll leave that up there for a second, or for a minute or two, just for you to be able to copy it. And then we just have a few practice problems. So we will build on it a little bit, like we're not just doing that the whole week. We will build on it a little bit throughout the week. We'll do things like, well, once we get our answer, we'll convert it to that other rectangular form or little things like that. But that's the general idea. So if you kind of get that rule, once again, this week should be not that bad for you. So I'll leave that up for another minute as to notes horseshoe. All right. I'm with you. Okie dokie. So let's just look at I think we have 3 examples. I'm going to do 2 with you. You're going to try one. That's it. And the examples are just kind of using this rule. How do we combine these when we're multiplying? And go from there. So example 1, actually I'm going to grab my My chart, I just like to use nice angles here. So if I had something like 2 CIS 150. Oh my God, why do I do that every time? 150, right, 15. 50 times 5 CIS 30. Sure, why not? Okay, so the actual, this shouldn't be too bad. The rule says when we're multiplying two trig numbers, we're gonna multiply the numbers in front. Okay, I can do that because 2 times 5 is 10. You write CIS in the middle because that represents the cosine, the I, and the sine. It's just an abbreviated way of writing it, which is nice. You don't need to write the long way every time. And then the rule says we're gonna take our two angles and we're going to add them. So that would give me 180. Okay, that's it. We're not getting too crazy today, at least. I mean, we can do a million of these. Let's do 6 CIS 60 degrees times 4 CIS of 210. So I'll do this one with you, and then you're going to try one. So just as a reminder, what we're doing, but if you have your rule, it shouldn't be bad. You're multiplying the numbers in front. CIS. And then you are adding your thetas, which would be 270. And for now, you'd be done. Once again, we'll kind of do a little bit more as the week goes on, but that's the general idea. All right, can you try this last one? And that's it. That's the general idea for today and for the week. Let's do 7 CIS. 225 times 3 CIS 45. All right, can you guys try that one? All right, you have about 30 seconds just to try this one. All right. This class is always so long. My first period is so long because of announcements and stuff. You guys are always so fast. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, Okie dokie. So the main idea is we're going to multiply the numbers in front. CIS represents my cosine I sine for my trig number, and I'm going to add my thetas to get 270 degrees. So can you please check that now and see that you were on the right track? So once again, we're trying to spread out something, it shouldn't be too long, but we're gonna take our time. So that's what we'll start with today as kind of the intro. Tomorrow we'll basically be doing the same thing, but we're gonna add a step in of taking that trig number and transforming it and converting it to rectangular form, stuff we were doing last week, but just a little review. Wednesday, I think we just have some practice. And then I don't know, we're gonna do it at the end of the week, I'm gonna be honest, so I have to kind of plan my life. I've only planned a few days ahead of time this week. I miss my planning Wednesdays, I don't have as much time. So that's the deal, and then we'll just kind of do our thing as we move forward.